everyone, so it's Katana, and it's been a really long time since I posted a YouTube video. So today I wanted to make a video about my choir journey. My choir journey has been incredible, and I'm so excited for next year because I'm coming back even stronger than I have been. And I don't want to be held behind, and I don't want to do it. So let's get on to the video. So first thing about my choir journey, when I first started, I was singing at a really young age, but I didn't want to start it like being like in choirs and stuff. I did do a little bit of choir growing up, but my full journey didn't exactly start until 5th grade year, where I wanted to do a whole bunch of stuff with choir. So I went and did an audition with my former choir teacher, Mr. Williams. And I didn't really know my voice type that well. Like, I knew what singing was, but I didn't know about like the voice types or anything. Solfege, I didn't know any of that. So I was really nervous. And I went in, and I had another girl who's in there auditioning with me. And what he had you do was he had you sing the lower part, and then he had you sing the higher part. So he had her sing the higher part first and me the lower. And I didn't feel like that was me. So he had me sing the higher part and her the lower, and decided that I was going to be a soprano. And I didn't know anything. Like, I was so scared at that point to figure out like what is going to be my part. And I had chosen the fact that I wanted to be in choir, and he's like, just wait, you'll love it. I can say a few years later I do love it. But when I went in for my first day of choir with Mr. Williams, I remember it was 6th grade choir, so it was kind of like the beginning choir. And I didn't really know what to do. So we went in, and he gave us a book that was help work on your sight reading. And I didn't know that much about sight reading, which luckily my mother had been in choir, and so had my father. It was really great to know that I had both of them at that point who knew what was going on. So I auditioned for a solo that year, and I did get one, and I actually remember it fully. It was a mini solo. We were doing Let It Shine. And I had a solo. It was like we had like the on Monday, Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday. And mine was right after on Saturday. So I was the last one before the whole choir started singing again. So I went up there, and I had decided, I went up, did the solo, and I was so nervous because at that point you were performing in front of your 6th grade peers, and no one had ever really heard me sing. I was very quiet in middle school. Well, at least most of the time. 8th grade years when I got a little vocal. So I went and did my solo, and I didn't really think anyone had noticed me. I think they noticed a few other people more than they noticed me. And I went and did a project for English, which was a singing thing. You either had to write an essay or you sang in front of your whole like team, and it was like VIP and superstar. I was VIP, so I had to perform in front of all of the VIP students. And we had to do a research topic that was based off of English, and I don't even remember what mine was called, because it's something so weird and I don't think it's normal. Like, no one would pick this on their own. I got left with the last one because I was on my own. So I decided that I was gonna go through with it. That day I did a thing it was The Subject Mixed with 1,000 Years by Christina Perri. And I decided, okay, I might as well give it a shot. And when I did it, some people still to this day compliment me on it. They're like, oh my gosh, you did so good. I didn't know you could sing. And that's when people really noticed who I was. And like, that's when I truly realized that, oh, maybe this is something I should keep doing. So I had decided that I was going to stay in choir another year and see how it went. And that 7th grade year was horrible for me, because a lot of people didn't really like me because they were like, oh, teacher's playing favorites. And that was absolutely not true, because Mr. Williams didn't really play favorites in that choir. So I had worked extremely hard, did everything I was supposed to, and then I was asked to join the advanced choir at my middle school, which was concert choir. And this is the choir that got to perform in front of the whole school. And also they got to perform for like programs and stuff. And we also did a whole bunch of other performances. So I decided to say yes and join. And it was scary at first because I was with all of these people who knew what they were doing. And Louis up, I don't know if you guys can tell, but Louis up there just being a pain. And I chose to kind of be more silent. And we had every Monday and every Friday, we had a rehearsal during kind of like our homeroom time. So I wouldn't be in homeroom. I would usually be in in the choir room. And one time we had solo auditions, and it was kind of like a mini solo, but it could barely be heard. And it was in the national anthem. And I decided that I was going to try out for it. I unfortunately did not get it, which it was okay because I knew what I was doing. And Louis is literally just walking towards me. Hi, Louis. Come here. Come here. Hold on. Wait, Hi, Louis. He's a little cutie. You're a little cutie. Pop. And I decided that 8th grade year that I was going to stay in choir in high school. And didn't know what to do at auditions. So basically how the audition worked was you and the rest of your classmates who were staying in choir decided that they wanted to stay. So we all stayed after school and we had to perform for my current choir teacher, Miss Azar. And I love her so much. She's so sweet. And a lot of people get intimidated by choir teachers. I don't know why. I think it's just because their nerves get the best of them. And I understand that. I've had nerves so many times. And it's made me a better person for today. So I went to the audition and she was like, does anyone want to volunteer to go first? And no one wanted to do it. So I raised my hand. And when I raised my hand, people were like, they were just giving me like dirty looks. They were like, really? Who does this girl think she is? You're literally going up against one of the best choir teachers. And I sang Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in a higher key. There was a high key, a middle key, and a low key. So I had chosen to sing in the high key, and I did end up making it into choir. I was so happy about that. And I had no idea what choir I was going to be in. And my mom actually worked with a counterpoint, so it was really funny because I had already known her. And it was really sweet to have support from her as well. And Azar one day mentioned me to the counterpoints, and I was freaking out. Like, you can hear like me internally screaming. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. And I chose what I wanted to do. Then it came to orientation, and I found out I was in the intermediate choir, which is Patriot Singers. And I'm still in it to this day, and I love it so much. And the reason I am a little bit worried for each year is just because it's a new school year and you're gonna meet new people, and I'm that type of person who's really shy. Like, you can't see it because I'm so kind-hearted and I love helping anyone when I can, but I'm a very shy person. And I decided that at that point, it's like, okay, I'm gonna meet new people. Let's hope they all don't hate me. And the second I walked in, I met someone who is now my best friend. I love her so much, and I'm so sad she's graduated. I miss her so much, and I'm actually going to our graduation party soon, so I'm really excited for that. And I met her, and we were actually sat next to each other. And the funny thing is, we now have an inside joke in choir that my choir teacher, Miss Azar, put me and her next to each other for the longest time. And I was so excited. And it came down to third try this year, and it was the one time we didn't get put next to each other, even though, because we were in the same section. And okay, there goes Louie. And I had decided to stay in choir another year, And keep in mind, I had auditioned for solos freshman year. I didn't have any luck with them, but I'm very grateful I still auditioned for them, because the people who got them did incredible, and some of those people are in my section and stuff, so it was really great to see them get solos, and I was so excited for them. Then it came to sophomore year, probably my most stressful year of all. And at the time, I was diagnosed with my tumor. And I was so scared, because when you have a tumor removed, it's like no other. And we didn't know at the time if it was cancerous or not. Luckily, we found out it wasn't. So I decided that I was going to do what I needed to and have each of my newest skills improve while I was still out from surgery. And I thankfully wasn't out for too long after surgery. I got to come back after a week or two. But what was hard was I had to get so much blood work done that now, I don't know if you can tell, right here, there's a natural bruise that is there now, and it hurts so, it will hurt every once in a while. And I recently had to get blood work done too, so it doesn't really help me. So sophomore year, first solo I auditioned for, I did not get, and I was like, okay, that's just gonna make me work even harder to get one. And it came to our fall concert, and I had decided to audition, and I got a solo. And I was so excited because I had really loved this song. This song was definitely in my range, and it was something I truly loved doing. And I loved it. It was so fun to do. So the next performance we had that had solos was a winter performance, and it was one where you could audition for a solo that was Christmas themed. And I did. I auditioned with a song called Frosted Pain, and I got to sing it there. When I auditioned, I had to do it over video because Miss Azar had forgotten to have me audition, which I was fine with it because I was so excited to do it anyway. Louie, what are you doing? Hi, buddy. Louie's just chilling over here. And I did that one. Then 70s came around, and I did a solo then. And I did a solo for ABC, and I loved it. And I also had auditioned with September, which was fun, but still. It was a little bit scary still because I was still a little bit nervous. And that is the point I'm at now. I was gonna audition for the performance we would have had in May, but unfortunately we got stuck in quarantine, which was really sad. And now I've started a new series on my Instagram that is about my singing. And also I caught Louie. And now I'm happier than I've ever been singing. So I want to thank Michelle Azar, Kurt Perry, Christopher Williams, and someone who passed away, Mr. David Gibbs. I was so sad when I heard he passed. But every new ending starts a new beginning. So I am excited to start my junior year off right and be the most powerful I've ever been. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.